Okay, today we were talking about the assignment for Monday, June 22nd. Today we're talking about fractions. All right, adding and subtracting fractions. Guys, I know fractions suck, okay? They're weird. They don't make a lot of sense sometimes, but I'm going to try and make that easier and better, and, maybe you'll learn something. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our PowerPoint. It says adding and subtracting with equal denominators. We're going to have to do two different things today, okay? Equal denominators and unequal denominators. I'm going to tell you right now, equal denominators should be a piece of cake. You should be good, okay? It says, what is a fraction? A fraction is a number that represents a part of a whole. So you have a pie, you split it up into pieces, now it's a fraction, okay? Something cut up, something divided. Okay, the numerator is how many parts that are represented. It's also our top number. Our denominator is our bottom number, and it's how many total parts we have. What is the correct fraction? Okay, let's take a look at this circle. We have our pie, and it looks like we have two pieces left out of three. Okay, so 3 is our total amount, which should be on bottom. This one's already looking better. So we have 3 on the bottom, and then 2, because we still have 2 pieces, 2 out of 3. We have 2 out of 3 pieces. Bada bing, bada boom, we got it. What is the correct fraction? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. That's total, right? So total means it should be on the bottom, right? Okay, how many total? Okay, yeah. So it should be on the bottom. So we have 6 right here. And then let's flip back and see what's supposed to be on top. So it says how many parts are represented. And we have 5 blue ones. So it's going to be 5 blue out of 6. Perfect. What is the correct fraction? Oh, okay. I feel like if I was in present mode, these things would have popped up and stuff. Sorry about that. It's not letting me do it for some reason. These two fractions are actually the same. Okay. This one is what we call reduced. Okay, so we took it into its simplest form, which means we just divided out a common number. So 6 and 8 are both divided by 2 or divisible by 2. So we divided them both by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, what you do to the top number, you have to be able to do to both of them. Okay, you can't be changing one of the numbers without changing the other. Equivalent fractions. Okay, so this is it shown. So you have candy bars. Okay, they're all the same size. This one's split into thirds. So 1/3 would be the same. If this one were split into 6 pieces, you'd have to get 2 to equal the same 1/3. Okay, all of these are equal. Okay, all of them. So 4/12 of this is going to equal 3/9 of this, which is going to equal 2/6 of this and 1/3 of that. Okay. Equivalent fractions for 1. Numerator and denominator are equal. Perfect. So how many times does 2 go into 2? 1 time. All right. That should be pretty good. What are 4 fractions equivalent to 1/3? Okay. So to find out which fractions are equivalent to 1/3, you can just take the same number and multiply it on top and bottom. You could do 1/3 times 100 over 100. Multiply the top by 100, multiply the bottom by 100, and it's still going to be the same thing as 1/3. All right. I hope I'm not losing you. Same thing in reverse. If you can divide something out of the top, you have to be able to divide it out of the bottom. So if you divide the top by 2, you have to be able to do the bottom by 2, by 3, 4, whatever you're trying to divide out, you have to do to both. Okay. And that's what it's saying over here on the side. Try these. Write two equivalent fractions. Okay, so let's say that 3 over 7. All right, let's do two equivalent. So we have 3 over 7. Let's see. So we have 3 over 7. And I told you that you can find an equivalent fraction by multiplying the top and the bottom by the same thing. All right, so let's multiply the top and the bottom both by 2. That's a times 2 times 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. 7 times 2 is 14. 6 over 14 is equivalent to 3 over 7. So let's go ahead and go put that into this. We do 3 over 7. Oh, it's not letting me type. 3 over 7 would just be written, 6 over 14. We'd be putting in 6 over 14, and you type it as 6, and you put a little slash, and then 14. Sorry, my pen's jacking up. All right, so we had 3 over 7. We're supposed to do 2 of them. Three over 7. We're supposed to do 2. So we already did times 2. So let's go ahead and do times 3 on the top and the bottom. Remember, what you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 is also an equivalent fraction to 3 over 7. So when you type that, it'd be 9, put your little slash, and 21. These are the same thing, guys. Okay. Sometimes when you see it typed out like this, y'all freeze a little bit, but this is a fraction too. A number being divided by another number is always going to be a fraction. Division is fractions, pretty much. All right. If the denominators are the same, add the numerators. Okay. So you see how there's an 8 right here and an 8 right here. You just go ahead and add the tops. Perfect. Same thing as we've been doing all year. Okay, so right here, if the denominators are the same and you're doing subtraction, just go ahead and do the subtraction. So it's going to be 5 minus 2 is 3, and the denominator will be the same all the way throughout, okay? So on this one, we kept it all the way through when we added. We keep it all the way through when we subtract. So when we're adding, we keep the bottom the same. So it's going to be 8. And we add the tops. Okay, so 2 plus 5 is 7. So it should be 7 over 8 right here. This one, we keep the bottoms. Remember, bottom stays the same. You add the tops. So 1 plus 3 is 4. So it should be 4 over 6 right here. Subtraction. If the bottoms are the same, you're just doing subtraction on the top, keeping the bottom. Subtraction on top, keep the bottom. So right here, we do 13 minus 7. You would get 6 over 16. Right here, we would do 11 minus 6 and get 5 over 23, because our bottom stays the same. Oh, so sometimes we get what's called an improper fraction. An improper fraction is a fraction where the top number is bigger than the bottom number. So what this basically means, an improper fraction means, is we have more than 1, okay? So if we had 2 pies that were all sliced up, so we have 3 right here, and we have, it looks like 7 right here, or 8, I guess we have. So 3 and 7 equals 10 over 8, because our pies were divided into 8 pieces. We add them up. We add the tops, we get 10 over 8. 8 goes into 10 one time. Our remainder is going to be that 2 pieces over 8. Compare the denominator to the numerator to find any holes. Okay. If the top is bigger, that means we have a whole one. Let's go ahead and do this. So 3 over 4 and 2 over 4. So we do nothing to the bottoms, remember? We keep the bottoms the exact same. We add the tops because this is addition. So 3 plus 2 is going to be 5. How many times does 4 go into 5? One whole time. After we take 4 away from this 5, how much is left on top? It's going to be 1. Still over 4, because that 1 on top is still being divided by 4. This would be our answer. Okay. Try this one out by yourself. Mixed numbers. A mixed number is just a whole number and a fraction together. Okay. When you're doing these, you want to add the numbers, the whole numbers, the big numbers, by themselves. Then you want to add the fractions by themselves. Then at the end, they can all come together, okay? So we took the 2 and the 6 right here, made it 8. We took these fractions right here, 1/5 and 3/5, made it 4/5. The 8 comes right here and the 4/5 comes right here. I know might be a little confusing, but you'll get it. Okay, we split it up again. Big numbers to the left, add them up. Fractions to the right, go ahead, add those up. Add them all together at the bottom, okay? So let's try these. So we have 7 3/8. So we have 7 3/8 plus, let's go take a look at what else we've got. 12 1/8 plus 12 1/8. Okay, so we take our big numbers and we add them first. This is a big number and this is a big number. So we're going to come over here and do 7 plus 12. You do 7 plus 12 and you get 19. Okay, we're going to hold on to this. Let's go ahead and underline it so we don't forget about it. We have 3/8, and then we also need this other fraction over here. So let's go ahead and add those. So we do 3 over 8 plus 1 over 8. When the denominators, the bottom numbers, are the same, we just keep same bottom number and add or subtract tops depending. This time we're going to be doing addition because this is a plus sign right here. So 3 plus 1 is 4. We could reduce this, but let's keep it simple for right now. We're going to underline this because we need it. Remember, we still have this, so we're going to come down and we're going to combine these into 19 and 4/8, or 19 and 1/2 reduced. This 4/8 reduces down to 1/2 because you can divide both the top and the bottom by 4. Same thing if you're doing subtraction. You're splitting up the numbers, subtracting these separately and subtracting these separately, then bringing them together in the bottom. Okay. I think that's about it for now. Remember right here, you subtract 13 minus 5 on one side. You do 11/12 minus 5/12 on this side. Then you bring the answers together, and that's how you do those. One step at a time, guys. One step at a time. Oh, this is the last slide. Let's go ahead and do this one for practice. So 13 and 11/12. 13 and 11/12 minus, what was it? 5 and 5/12. Minus 5 and 5/12. Okay, so we're going to separate our big numbers first. So we have 13 minus 5. And then we're going to put our fractions over here. So we have 11/12 minus 5/12. So all we did so far is separate the numbers. These are big numbers, so they come over here. These are fractions, they go over there. Everything is still subtraction, okay? 13 minus 5 is going to be 8. 11 twelfths minus 5 twelfths. They both have 12 for the bottom. Things are easy. This is going to be 12 on the bottom over here. 11 minus 5 is going to be 6. Now we take our big number from over here in our fraction, and we recombine them. We get 8 and 6 over 12, or 8 and 1/2. Perfect. If you need any help, guys, just reach out. Leave a private comment. We'll find some time to work on it together. I know these videos are kind of long. I try and keep them quick, but it just happens sometimes. Sorry about that. Have a great day. Drink some water. Take a break. Then watch my next video, okay?